We are here today to reassert the narrative that our democracy, our government, is rooted in secularism. Democracy is a social contract in which the authority to govern comes from the people, not some higher power. A social contract wherein its purpose is to serve the common good. We are here today to reassert that secular humanism, yes, secular humanism is the foundation of our democracy. Our founding forebears believed, as do contemporary humanists, that it's humans that have the capacity, the responsibility, and the agency to govern ourselves. That is the basis of American democracy. It's fundamentally a humanistic endeavor, not a divine one. As a former social studies and civics teacher, I have to say that it pains me that I should have to state this so emphatically. But the very reason we're here today to celebrate and to advocate for reason is because people and politicians across our country are trying to alter these facts with a counter-narrative that ours is a Christian nation. It's just not so. Our authority to govern rests on our ability to use informed reason and verifiable evidence as the standard. That is our common currency of human knowledge in our decision-making. Sectarian religious ideology and pseudo-scientific fallacies have no place in the democratic governance. And yet, we see divisive and faulty ideas seeping into our public policy deliberations and foiling good, effective government and failing to protect and care for all our citizens. Our elected officials and civic activists, such as those of us gathered here today, must use the best of tested human knowledge as the authoritative standard in our policy making. Just as we require that in our institutions of higher learning and innovative industries across the land. Surely they depend on the best science, the best evidence, and the best knowledge. So that too should be the case with our governing. Whether the issue be reproductive rights, LGBTQ rights, climate change, vaccinations, medical aid in dying, religious displays in our public schools, or just acknowledging the value of equity and cultural diversity for human flourishing, the best of human knowledge and experience must be our standard. Governing, of course, is a moral act. But we need to establish a morality that arises out of our common ancestry as human beings, our shared common values and needs. And yet there is inescapable diversity. And in our modern world, our diversity we're bumping against each other, and is causing some conflict and some consternation by some folks. But I think we as humanists can lead the way. Diversity does confront us more and more with each passing year, even here in Minnesota. And we're facing incredible cultural diversity as well, here in Minnesota and across our land. And we're also comprised now of people of many different faiths and of no faith at all. Religion once was the bastion of moral authority, but it no longer holds that revered position. Instead, it often turns divisive. So our public morality must be based on human need as we see it, as we feel it, as we know it, as we learn about it, and be animated by a shared vision for an inclusive, equitable world. A morality where everyone counts and everyone's voice is heard and respected. So on this National Day of Reason, we call upon our public officials to uphold our secular government, to maintain the wall of separation between religion and state, to commit to evidence-based policymaking, and to use the moral compass of equity, inclusion, and compassion to promote the general welfare. This is the essence of our democracy, and that is what we celebrate today on this Day of Reason.